I want to talk about some things that people just can't come back from. I think it's a lesson to be learned in engaging online at all. At some points, just give up is my advice to some folks. And you'll see what I mean by this. Specifically, we shall begin with Cracker Barrel. Now, we were doing Lads Hour, and I remembered that Cracker Barrel used to basically get bombarded every single day, no matter what they posted, for the last 20 years, because they once fired someone who was Brad's wife, and this blew up into a massive joke. And then we went onto Cracker Barrel's Twitter page, and you may notice they deleted almost everything. Like these posts, the most recent ones of 2016, 2017, it's all gone. And I think Cracker Barrel have learned the lesson, which is give up. It's over. I mean, this is an American restaurant, and they've just decided to quit social media because they just got harassed every single day, constantly, that they fired Brad's wife.
Why not just engage with it? Like Wendy's do engagement with people that make memes in their comment sections, don't they?
You're right, but after 20 years, and it's still not stopped, and it's the same bloody joke. I mean, if you don't know what I'm speaking of, Internet Historian did a great video about this, and I best we'll play a little bit to get the explanation for people who haven't.
Because I've no idea what this is about.
All right, so basically, Brad, he has a wife. Brad's wife worked at Cracker Barrel. She was there for 11 years of service, and then was fired. And Brad, being a boomer, made some really schizoid posts on Facebook, being like, "Oh, this boy is storming about my wife being fired at Cracker Barrel. Why did you do it?" And this blew up because it looks stupid. But then the American boomers got hold of this, and it was funny for far too long for them.
5. The template of the joke was simple and spreadable. Promoting desserts, are we? Brad's wife used to love desserts. New item on the menu, Brad's wife would have made it twice as good. Today we remember 9/11. Brad's wife used to love 9/11.
Okay, not that. But the thing was that came out of this is it blew up into real life as well. So other brands started taking the piss out of Cracker Barrel, and then people started turning up to the Cracker Barrels to harass the staff.
The streets. People made posters, signs, and t-shirts. And they even started visiting the restaurant just to ask about Brad's wife.
Who's Brad?
Well, Brad's not important, but his wife, they fired her after 11 years of service.
I don't know what you're talking about.
After 11 years. On his birthday.
I heard about that. That was terrible.
Yeah, now there's a wait time in here.
How long?
Oh, it's a long time. Because Brad's wife isn't here.
Brad could...
The point being, the people who were taking part never stopped doing the joke. It went on and on. I mean, this video here from Internet Historian is 5 years old. And it was still going on Cracker Barrel. I mean, Brad's wife was fired 7 years ago. And it just keeps going. Just keeps on going. And whenever Cracker Barrel is mentioned, I mean, even the subreddit for Cracker Barrel is just talking about Brad's wife. Even 2 years ago, they're still posting about it. She deserves justice. What's going on with Brad's wife? Blah, 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 blah. Jokes that will not die. And Cracker Barrel deleted everything. It's not a glitch on Twitter. They actually, about a year ago, just had enough. And have now gone. They know they're not coming back from Brad's wife. It can't be done. Because the Zoomers and whatnot, like, the joke is funny, and then it's, quickly not funny, and, actually, before it was cool. And then no one...
But boomers just never stop. They're like the Terminator.
Boomers! Oh, God! that's funny for all time. It keeps going. And as you can see here, I mean, Matthew over here, in 2019, was writing, "Great things happened when Brad's wife was here, 11 years of service." Just carrying on. And, goes on, Brad's wife loved giving a helping hand. Deleted this one here. They were responding to a problem in the restaurant. They were like, Brad's wife wouldn't make this a problem. Okay, boys. So that's where they gave up. Because what are you going to do? And if you look up, even though Cracker Barrel have deleted everything, I mean, there's some guy called White here who is still harassing them about Brad's wife. But he's not the only one. There are plenty of other people who are still just posting about Brad's wife every few days, even though there's nothing to post to anymore. I mean, it's like, I don't know if you know internet comment etiquette, but he had a good thing, which is even if the comments are closed on a page, as a YouTube video, they close the comments. That doesn't mean the comments are closed everywhere. So just go and find something else where that company or aspect still exists, or whatever this one is. It's just like, that post from 2017? Brad's wife in 2024. Just never ends. But the point being that I discovered that Cracker Barrel had taken the advice, which I think is probably sound, which is when you are too memed, there's nothing you can do. Just lay down, it's over, accept it, you're dead. And Cracker Barrel, a major corporation decided, social media in the garbage. Just not going to engage anymore. Social media manager was presumably fired, let go.
Yes.
None of their outlets post anything about
I
any
do
of their
hope the
menu.
social media manager's husband wasn't called Brad, because otherwise it's pounding the problem.
What happened to Daisy's wife? It would go on forever and ever. And the reason I bring this all up is not just because I discovered that and that was interesting to see, is that, well, there's another company that seems to need this advice, which is to give up.
Right.
Bud Light. Remember them?
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
The biggest drunk beer in all of the United States by a wide margin.
There are even pubs in Swindon that carry this still.
Yeah, which is amazing, frankly. Now, for those who don't know, all 5 of you, Bud Light decided to do a deal with this person, but I don't want to talk about the subject matter because of YouTube.
Oh, right,
but
okay.
that gives you everything you need to know, doesn't it?
Yes.
And what happened is that they're still being haunted by the fact that they dared to do the sponsorship with this person because of the obvious reasons. And so the stock, I just checked the stock for the company because of course Bud Light is one of their beers. What is it? Bud Bush or Big
Anheuser-Busch.
Yeah.
Weird name that I can't pronounce.
Belgian.
They're still down 9%. So there's that. That's the entire company. But if you go to Bud Light specifically, I mean, like the stats on Bud Light used to be ridiculous. I mean, look at this. These are cases of beer sold in the United States.
Yeah.
As you can see, Bud Light just utterly dominating. Like it was the beer.
2012. So this was around the time where they were getting Mark Wahlberg to drink it in product placements in Transformers.
That's also the time when movies were still good. No, before
Transformers 4?
Was it?
Transformers 4 was not good.
But then you've got Budweiser and then Coors Light and all the rest of them, and it's just kind of irrelevant. It falls off.
Yes.
But as you can see, like $5 billion there just in 2012 alone. And
They were quite dominant then, weren't they?
and then they did this, and since April 1st, this is Bud Light sales declining
Womp womp.
every week,
Yeah.
consistently for a long time. So what is that? Almost 30% down. So you go from 5.5 billion. Let's just assume the number was the same. That would mean you're down to now 4 billion. The 1.5 billion worth of income just wiped out.
And they still haven't apologized. Did they
Yeah.
Did they fire the person who made the ad, or?
Yes.
Oh, okay, there's that then.
And they fired one other executive that was involved in it as well.
Because I don't think their salary is worth 1.5 billion, whatever that was, because that's
Yeah.
think of what you could do with 1.5 billion and then losing that.
Yeah.
I mean, I know when you're dealing with large sums of money, things get weird, but that's just mind-boggling to say the least. But legitimately, it did actually destroy their market share. Like, it was not just a small thing. Like, it actually did amazing numbers. Because, what's the headline out of this? America's top beer for decades is now the second, following the LGBTQ plus backlash. Well, it's worse than that, in case you're wondering. Because they did everything they could. You may remember they got rid of people. And then they tried to turn around and be like, oh, we're the beer for straight people. Straight people drink this.
Didn't they do another advert of horses again to try and capture the magic of the 9/11 one they did ages ago?
Yeah. It was like, do you like the Wild West? Do you like sports? We're beer, drink it. But of course, the damage is done. Or the Brad's wife moment's already happened.
Hmm.
And instead, you're just the gay piss water. Which is why even when Donald Trump Jr. came out to try and defend them, it was like,
Oh, did he?
no,
The reason is
I'm not going to take your advice.
Anheuser-Busch were historically large Republican donors. He did say
shouldn't have done that deal.
he did say that we should call the boycott off now because they're a patriotic company.
Hmm.
No.
Yeah, that doesn't follow.
Yeah, Rare Don Jr. L there.
Yeah, this is why the right loses pretty consistently.
But it's gone on quite a bit. I mean, I just found a post here. So as you see, it's from 2023. The backyard is calling. Like, they're just trying to do
Sounds like a euphemism.
very normie posts where it's like, beer, happiness. You could be happy if you drink our gay water. And everyone's just like, but it's gay. But I'm not gay. So I won't be drinking the gay water. Very sorry.
Yes.
And that was at the time. And, it goes on and on. I mean, this is another one where they're just like, remember our beer? Remember that? And it's like, no one is drinking your gay piss water. No one. Time to shelve the brand and move on with your lives. Like, yeah, maybe. Goes on and on. This is in August. There's just people still posting months after the fact. It's like, hey, this could be us. Remember 4th of July? Remember patriotism? I'm not gay. Sorry.
Hi folks, sorry to interrupt the video, but Bo and I have just completed a 3-part series on one of my favourite English kings, Edward I, the Hammer of the Scots. Now, one of the things about doing this series is that we get to lay out what actually happened, in contrast to some perhaps more famous Hollywood movies that tell you total lies about what actually occurred. So if you'd like to know what actually happened with the invasion of Scotland, multiple invasions of Scotland, did the Irish just defect to the Scots because of brotherly love? Well, come and sign up to lotus.com and find out.
What about that Channel 4 woman? Does she still get So What You're Saying Is?
Yeah, Kathy Newman, yeah.
Yeah, does she still get that as a response to every tweet?
Absolutely.
Right, good.
You've had the Brad wife moment. All you can do is delete the account. Like you can't even do the thing of not posting for a month and then coming back.
Yeah.
Because you're too memed. You're too gone
Yes.
in this sense. I mean, like this one here, they're celebrating 13 days till something. I don't care. And everyone,
Quiet, maybe.
yeah, got ratioed again with people just going gay beer. Why is it a gay beer? It's for gays. It's just because the thing about those types of memes as well, the Brad's wife one, this "what are you saying" thing with Kathy Newman, and also gay water, is that it's very, very simple, very tribal, and very orcish. And at that point, you've got no comeback. There is literally nothing you can do because the strength of the joke is just too strong.
Yeah, that market is impenetrable to you now.
It's over. That's August. Well, October, still people just posting, "Why are you gay?" They're like, "Yeah, remember the NFL? Remember sports? You know what real men do." I was like, "Nah, you're a gay guy."
Have you seen the NFL's Pride announcement from last year? They did their rainbow logo and they literally tweeted out an infographic that said, "The NFL is gay." Like, well, that's a hell of a way to promote it to the fans.
Bud Light are sponsoring it. But it goes on, November. The news came out. Stephen Crowder discovered that because initially Bud Light tried to claim that we didn't do a paid sponsorship. They just like our beer, and then it came out, no, you gave that person $185,000.
And to Neil Patrick Harris as well, who is also famously gay.
But no one has that much of an interest in Neil Patrick Harris.
$185,000 for wearing a dress in a bath, drinking a beer.
Yes.
The production values weren't even good.
No.
That's
Right.
transphobic.
That is amazing money, is all I'm making the point with this, is that, good Lord.
I mean, $245,000 for Jenna Ortega in a bath. Fair enough.
For how long?
Dan's in his 40s. It's only going to be 10 seconds.
But anyway, that came out in November, at which point, yet again, everyone just started responding with, gay, you're gay, you're a gay beer for gay people. It's like, huh? Yeah, that's a lot of damage that you're not going to get over, exactly. December, still gay. It's just gay juice. Sincerely, I don't think Bud Light can come back from this.
Oh, Peyton Manning as well doing the sponsorship. Ooh, he used to be a very famous quarterback in the NFL. And
Is he calling his rent boy then? Or what?
Because that's exactly the point, is it's too easy. Because they keep trying to get manly men as their symbols. But of course, muscly manly men is our brand. It's also a bit gay. So I don't really want to...
Oh yeah, he's got his socks on, so that's not gay.
Like, actually, the response you would do, like, if you were being accused of being gay, the thing you would do is stop doing gay stuff. Like, you wouldn't keep wearing pink and whatnot and flapping about. Instead, you would get lots of hot women and just put them front and center. And be like, our brand, hot women. That's 0% gay.
Yes.
But instead, they went with dudes and bros hanging out on long phone calls.
Well,
Which,
at least if hot women do a bit of gayness, it's the good kind. So
We should get Dan to be Bud Light's entire marketing department. He'll single-handedly save it.
I'd nail it completely.
But they're just going to name women, and you'll be like, yes, no, yes. Okay. But, I mean, you make a great point about that fact, which is that, what are you going to do? Literally, what are you going to do? Because they seem to be incapable of taking that good advice of, well, just have some hot women. Stop being such a queer man. And,
but they are fixable. So, so Bud Light, what you do is you issue an apology, you make a massive donation to that Christian school that the person who is now the shot up, right? And then
that too.
And then and did I say the hot girls? You do that, right? And with Cracker Barrel, you just rehire Brad's wife, for God's sakes. Whatever you need to pay her.
Yeah, you just go hunt down Brad's wife and give her $1 million and be like, please, we like having a social media outlet.
So all of this is fixable.
It's on the table, but Cracker Barrel didn't take that solution. Will Bud Light take that solution? I do not think so.
Maybe Brad's wife is just negotiating really hard and just
playing hardball. But here we go. This is January, in which they make a very boring tweet about beers and football. And again, the comments are all just, you gay. And it's just,
Good.
what are you going to do exactly? I mean,
Yes.
like, we've come up with a solution, actually, but they're not going to do that, I suppose. I remember they actually tried to have, what was it, The Rock? I think it was The Rock. They offered to pay $1 million. And he issued a statement saying that I'm not going to save your woke brand.
I don't really. I'm surprised if The Rock said that because The Rock endorsed Biden and he's a major Democrat.
It might not have been The Rock. It might have been, I don't know, John Wayne or whoever else.
Well, because I know
Yeah.
that they have now officially partnered with the NFL and Dana White.
But there we are.
They're taking Bud Light sponsorships.
Maybe, yes, get the hot women. It's not hard. Just stop being gay. It's not difficult. Just stop doing gay things if you don't want to be called the gay beards. It's not difficult advice, but there we are. But it moves on. If you want to look up Bud Light today and the word gay, I mean, even, what is this, like 14th? They're still just getting constantly, whatever they do, you are homosexual. Why are you gay? Who says I'm gay? You are gay. Like, it just never stops. And there we are. I mean, that's sort of the message to learn, which is once you've been hit this hard, it's probably time to quit. And I have some more statistics on all this. I mean, oh God, I just found another one, which is they're trying to desperately be like, look, comedian, cool people. And they're just like, nah, you gay. Still gay. But the reality on the ground still seems to be the fact that they can't even get their beer out to football fans, even though they're obsessed with sponsoring football again, which is, again, not the best way to solve the gay problem. Women is the best way to solve the gay problem. Association of your brand. This is a lady here, and she's not the only one. I remember at the time people talking about the fact that they had to give the beer away for free. So they were offering you buy $15 worth of Bud Light and you get a coupon for $15 off something else.
Yeah.
So the wholesalers were just abandoning the product. They were just like, just get it off the shelves. It's not worth it.
Also, is that the girl from the aeroplane?
Airplane?
No, it's not the same one.
It's not real.
I choose to believe it is.
Okay.
But no, I remember a whole bunch of other guys showing that they were taking off the pumps for Bud Light because just the customers weren't buying it.
Yeah.
And in fact, fights were breaking out because a guy would order Bud Light and the guy next to him would be like, what are you, gay? And then they just fight about who was gay physically.
So anyway, I have come up with the correct advert for Bud Light. So I haven't put this into the show notes, but if you're watching at home, what you need to do is you need to basically go into YouTube and type in Denise Richards and Nev Campbell Wild Thing kiss moment, right? And basically
Shove a Bud Light logo over it.
have that with Bud Light at the bottom. Job done.
Not hard. But
Yeah.
you can see here, I mean, the boycott has still continued well into the year. Let's play this. Up the audio.
Light anymore. Look, it's even got the cap. I usually have 1 or 2 people a day, if that. But all my Bud Light drinkers switched to Land Shark. What did your Bud Light drinker switch to? Because when these people said they were boycotting the Bud Light, I did not believe them. I really didn't, and they were serious about it. They still ain't drinking it to this day.
And they're not going back. We have some data on this. The most recent statistics came out, and even CNN reported on this back in October. And the details from this are bad. So the whole corporation has a 13% downward turn in sales for the third quarter. So still in October. So you remember the boycott started in April. Even in October, they're still getting massive downturns. It's not stabilized. It's
Yes.
still dropping off as more and more men learn that this is a gay thing. Stop it.
Yes.
And get into fights over it. So they say that the sales to US retailers declined 17%, quote, primarily due to the volume decline of Bud Light. In response, the company cut deals with wholesalers, including writing checks to distributors and increasing marketing spending on the brand. So that's the football and whatnot,
Yes.
which, again, not the correct strategy. Dan has the correct strategy
Yes.
on that one. But they say, but it also took a toll on the company's bottom line and contributed to a 29% decline in adjusted US earnings. So the whole corporation, just because of the Bud Light 17% reduction in sales just in that month,
Yeah.
never mind the rest of it, they've
The
lost.
operational gearing effect in that that last 17% was generating an outsized proportion of their profits.
Yeah, another, what were the words? The earnings there, 29% of it wiped out.
Yes.
And that's in October. Now, John sent me something which is even more recent, which is the Super Bowl. And, well, this is just a thing talking about the Corona is now the number one drink. I remember when everyone was thinking that would have terrible PR because of the virus, but never mind. Wrote that out. Just don't do gay things. Not that hard. But anyway, the thing in here is that they quote, Corona dethroned AB's Bud Light, which was the top seller on sales for, well, years. And the sales of Bud Light at the Super Bowl plummeted 50%. 50% is just gone.
Good.
So of the football people,
Yes.
the people who would go and see the football, 50% of them who drank Bud Light before are just not.
It's still quite weird that the other 50% are still drinking it, though.
Yeah. Well, you know,
must feel like a right walking around with a Bud Light.
censor that too.
Oh, right.
But you know, there are gay guys. Yeah, gay guys want to drink their stuff. That's fine. But at least now we know. I wonder if it'll become a thing. You know, like in the gay community, there's all these like dog whistles. There's people talking about like
Oh, yes.
which side you have the earring on or the handkerchief or whatever else.
Yes.
Like maybe
'cause-
Bud Light will just become that.
Yes, it's so if you see another man with a Bud Light, it's like you know to follow him into the room.
Well, maybe.
I'll leave it there.
But my point being that if you are Bud Light or you run a social media campaign,
Or you're gay.
well, if you're gay, enjoy Bud Light. If you're not, then
Yes.
maybe don't. But the problem being that if you run a social media campaign or have a social media outreach and you get memed this hard, like Cracker Barrel or Bud Light, it's over. Just give it up. Just go home. If you appreciated that episode from the podcast of the Lotus Eaters, you can go to lotuseaters.com to get access to all the premium content that's on the site, such as Lads Hour, this episode on meme politics. If you'd like to find out what else is being put out, you can follow on Twitter at lotuseaters_com on Twitter. Thank you and goodbye.